Hello. Uh, Welcome to my second dev diary. Super hot here today in Australia, in Melbourne. So sorry, I'm super sweaty and in a singlet. But thought I'd go through. I've done a bit more recording on the thing I was working on the other day. So I thought I'd show you where I was at and take this opportunity to show you my process of recording a tutorial video. So if I switch to this screen, this is my script again. We saw that last time. And last time we saw that there were a few, let me close these tabs. There were a few bits highlighted yellow, and I explained that as I worked through the videos, I realized, the voiceover that I recorded isn't quite right. I need to change it a little bit because something's a little bit weird a little bit different in Figma to how I expected, and I need to show a slightly different process, or I need to change it slightly just so that they're not confused at how I got past a certain step. Thinking about, I want to give the students, the viewers, an understanding of what we're doing, but also not just a very isolated view of if everything goes perfectly, they'll be fine, but rather, why did we do this? Or what if you drag in an image and it doesn't go into a frame properly? How can you put it into that frame? So go to the layers stack and you can move it in from there, things like that. So the best case scenario, and then also a couple of little gotchas, things like that. But so I did mention that the other day, but on the right here, you'll see now I have some green columns, and that means that I've read through the script and I've recorded each of these sections. So I highlight something green when I record it. I haven't done any face to camera stuff because I don't do my tutorials all in one take. I do each kind of section as a little time video and then all together, and then I look at where I need a camera and I put those in. So none of those are highlighted green yet. And if I jump to the next one, same thing here. You see there's some scenes that I didn't divide fully. It was one scene, but I wanted to start with a face to camera and then cut to some of the screen recording. So there's kind of mixes of things here as well. So that's the script colors. I've been working through those. I've recorded a bunch of stuff today that's just the screen. Now I wanted to talk about how I record. So I'll switch to, I have three monitors. I have two widescreen 4K monitors, and I have my laptop screen. I record on my laptop screen, and I do that because if I switch to this view, so from this camera here, you'll see I've got my laptop screen here. Up here is open broadcasting, I can't remember what it's called, OBS, the recording stuff that I'm using for this. And then I've got the screen that I read the script off here. But I record my laptop screen, and I've done something a little bit different here. These are still 4K. I'm using it at their full resolution. But the laptop screen, actually, sorry, I haven't changed the resolution, but what I have done is I've adjusted the scaling in Mac. So if I'll jump to the laptop screen. So if I jump to my settings here and I go display settings, I'll see that on these two screens, these external monitors, I have my scaling almost to the right. So it's text is small, things are small, but not too small. But on my laptop screen, I've made it the middle. And that's what I found to be a good size for text in a video. So you don't want it too small because then someone has to like zoom into the video to try and see what you're clicking on or read the text. You don't want it too big because then you lose too much space in the video to do things. So this is what I found was a good size. So if I jump back, you'll see this is Figma on that screen. You'll notice that it only extends to here. And here, it's not a widescreen laptop screen. It's I don't know if it's 4:3, but it's close to that. So that means when I put it in the video, I'll have bars on either side. That's fine. I actually quite like that. It keeps most of the content centered. And if I want to stylize the whole video, I can use that space around to maintain a style throughout the whole video, rather than just having the style of the video dictated by whatever I'm recording. I can still have that style visible in the background of the video. And then when I want to zoom in, I just zoom in. I just scale up that whole image to fit, to zoom in on whatever it needs to, and it covers up those bars as well. So it's basically like a window on any operating system, a window of an app sitting in the screen. Now, to make that easy to work with, I've hidden my background. So if I jump over here, you'll notice I've made all my backgrounds black. Sometimes I make it a color if I know what color the video should work with. But in this case, I figured I'll keep it simple. I'll just keep it black. I can always, in After Effects, replace that with a color later because the window doesn't move, because it actually fills the whole screen. So I can guarantee it's going to be covering all of that up. Another thing that I do is, as well as making the interfaces a bit bigger, is I jump to my Mac settings and I go to mouse, and you might notice my mouse is a bit bigger. So I go to accessibility settings, and I think it's in display. I always search around a little bit for it, but essentially what I find is the pointer size, and I make my pointer a bit bigger so it's easier to find and follow on screen. I don't make it too big. I actually make it about half, and that's because if you have a tooltip, and I'm not sure if I can find somewhere where there's a tooltip that appears, not in this instance, maybe up here. No, but if you have a tooltip when you're hovering over a button, they appear underneath the button. So if you make your mouse too big, they cover up those tooltips, which isn't great. At this size, it'll still cover up those tooltips, but I think it's a good trade-off for screen recording. So the other thing that I do is I've changed the pointer outline color. And I've filled the pointer black, and that's basically because if it's just black and white and I'm on something like Figma, it's really easy still to not to lose the mouse because it's the same color as a lot of the other elements. So I make it a different color. In some areas it doesn't work. You'll see when I'm hovering over the canvas, it's defaulting to Figma's own icon, which is fine, but at least when I scroll over other areas, it turns into a different color. When I record, I just use QuickTime. So if I open up QuickTime, it's already open. So now I can click on the QuickTime file and go new screen recording, and it just asks me to choose a screen. So if I jump back to actually the iPhone view, if I go QuickTime new screen recording, which is Control Command N. Now I can just choose a screen by hovering over the screen. I can select that screen, start doing whatever I'm doing, and then I can click the little stop at the top. Let's jump back to the laptop screen. At the top, there's a little, oh no, it looks like it's stopped. Why did it stop? No, it's still there. Okay. So now I have a video that I've recorded. And QuickTime records amazing videos. Like the frame rate is great. It records whatever size you want. Obviously, this isn't quite 4K, but it would record that. So if you've got a Mac, QuickTime is probably your best bet, unless you want to do more complicated stuff, and then you'll use OBS. And maybe there's a frame rate difference between those as well, but I've found QuickTime to be very good, so I just keep using that. I'm going to just close that one. And then the last thing I've done, if I jump back to the laptop, is I set up a new Figma account. So I set up a temporary Figma account just so that I could have a virgin view, so it's not confusing the viewer with other things, other projects that I'm working on. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully that was helpful. I've always wanted to create a proper video tutorial about how I create video tutorials. There's other stuff that I've done in the past that is interesting that I wanted to cover at times as well. But I've never created that tutorial because I've always just kept it in planning stages and thought, how can I make this a really cool tutorial and things like that. I thought this was a good opportunity to just get over myself and just show you as I'm doing it what I've done in this instance, and why I do some of those things. So hopefully if you're watching this, hopefully you found it interesting. And that's it for today. I'll as I keep working through these tutorials, I might show you once I jump into After Effects, but I've just been recording today, so that's it. Cheers.